I now invite the House, by the resolution which stands in my name,
Death is an inevitable part of life, yet the way in which some famous individuals face their final moments can be truly remarkable. From amusing quips of Oscar Wilde to poignant reflections of Leonard Nimoy, the last words uttered by history's most renowned figures offer a unique glimpse into their character and legacy. What could these last words entail? Join us in today's video as we delve into the 20 incredible last words from famous people who left an indelible mark on the world. Number 20. Bo Diddley. Bo Diddley, whose real name was Ellis Otha Bates, was a highly influential American guitarist and singer. He played a pivotal role in the transition from blues to rock and roll and left an indelible mark on the music industry. His unique style and sounds influenced numerous artists, including Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley, and the Beatles. Bo Diddley's ability to incorporate African rhythms and his signature beat, a simple 5-accent ham-bone rhythm, became a foundational element in hip-hop, rock, and pop music. He was widely recognized for his contributions and received multiple accolades throughout his career. In 1987, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, followed by inductions into the Blues Hall of Fame in 2003 and the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2017. His significant impact on the music industry also earned him the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award from the Rhythm and Blues Foundation and the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Unfortunately, Bo Diddley passed away on June 2, 2008, at the age of 79 due to heart failure at his home in Archer, Florida. Despite the sorrow of his passing, his wife Sylvia recalls a touching moment during his final moments. At his bedside, a gospel song called "Walk Around Heaven" was sung, and when it concluded, Bo Diddley opened his eyes, gave a thumbs up, and exclaimed, "Wow, I'm going to heaven." It was a beautiful and fitting farewell for a man who had made such a tremendous impact on the music world. Number 19. Steve Jobs. You might know Steve Jobs as the visionary co-founder of Apple Technology Company, but many people see him as a pioneer in the tech world because of the amazing things he did. His innovative products and design philosophy transformed the way we use technology. However, it was his final moments in 2011 that truly left an indelible mark on those who knew him. In a heartfelt eulogy written by his sister, she beautifully described Steve Jobs as having a stern, yet handsome profile. Even in his final moments, there was a determination and strength within him, as if he was embarking on a challenging journey. Just hours before his passing, Steve's final words were uttered in a series of monosyllables repeated 3 times. During that time, he looked at his sister Patty, then turned his gaze towards his children, and then at his life partner Lorene. Finally, he glanced past them, over their shoulders, as if there was something beyond their presence. His last words were simple.
Apple is a company that has...
yet enigmatic. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. These 3 words have since sparked much speculation and interpretation. Some people see them as an expression of awe, an acknowledgement of what lies beyond this life. Others view them as a reflection on a life well lived, an appreciation for the wonders and experiences Steve had encountered throughout his extraordinary journey. Regardless of the interpretation, Steve Jobs left a lasting legacy marked by his unwavering determination, visionary mindset, and profound impact on the world of technology. Number 18. Oscar Wilde. Renowned for his wit and charm, Oscar Wilde was an Irish poet and playwright who had a unique and somewhat humorous experience during his final moments in 1900. While spending his last days at the Hôtel d'Alsace in Paris, Oscar's attention was peculiarly focused on the wallpaper in his room. A man who firmly lived life on his own terms, even in his final moments, he displayed the sharp wit he was known for. He famously remarked, "My wallpaper and I are fighting a duel to the death. One or the other of us must go." After Oscar's passing, the wallpaper that had seemingly troubled him was promptly removed. The room was then transformed, meticulously designed to resemble one of the rooms in his London flat. This attention to detail and respect for his preferences showcased the lasting impact Oscar Wilde had on those around him. While many attribute Oscar's cause of death to syphilis, modern physicians have speculated that it was actually an ear infection that ultimately led to his demise. This theory gains significance when considering his struggles with hearing even before his infamous trial for homosexuality in 1895. Previous ear issues may have resurfaced, exacerbated by the conditions he endured during his time in prison. It is believed that Oscar Wilde was prone to recurring ear infections, further exacerbated by the harsh environment of his incarceration. Following his release from prison in 1897, having served 2 years of hard labor, Oscar Wilde sought solace in France. It was during this period that he penned his final literary work, a heartfelt poem titled The Ballad of Reading Gaol, which provided a vivid account of prison life. Additionally, he embarked on travels across Europe, embracing newfound freedom and seeking inspiration for his future endeavors. However, the recurrent ear infections he had experienced in prison came back really bad in 1900. This infection penetrated the meninges, causing meningitis, which perhaps led to his death. Number 17. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Having served as the 35th President of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy is remembered as a charismatic leader whose life came back to a tragic end when he was assassinated in 1963. His final moments and last words have left an indelible mark in history. In the moments leading up to his untimely death, John Kennedy's last recorded words were in response to a comment from his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy. She had remarked, "You certainly cannot say that the people of Dallas haven't given you a nice welcome."
Effort will be needed in the years ahead.
Kennedy's final reply was, "No, you certainly can't." His final words were a poignant reminder of the warmth and hospitality shown by the people of Dallas just before the horrifying events unfolded. President Kennedy's presidency, though brief, was marked by several pivotal moments and challenges. He navigated through crises such as the Bay of Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis with resolve and diplomacy. Moreover, he was a staunch advocate for civil rights and a driving force behind the ambitious space exploration endeavors. Meanwhile, Kennedy's lingering influence on the world stage and the enduring impact of his presidency continue to be felt to this day. His life and legacy remain a testament to his unwavering dedication to public service, his eloquence, and his enduring impact on the course of American history. Number 16. Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was a British naturalist and biologist, known for his theory of evolution and the process of natural selection. In the twilight of his life, in 1882, Darwin confronted death with remarkable composure and tranquility. It is reported that he calmly uttered the words before his demise, "I am not the least afraid to die." These words encapsulate Darwin's unwavering commitment to the pursuit of scientific truth, even in the face of adversity. Throughout his remarkable journey, Darwin passionately observed and meticulously documented the wonders of nature. His groundbreaking research and analysis laid the foundation for our modern understanding of how everything in life is connected and the process of evolution. At the heart of Darwin's legacy is his seminal masterpiece, The Origin of Species. This monumental work, published in 1859, presented his foundational theory of evolution. It also demonstrated how species adapt and change over time through the mechanism of natural selection. It remains one of the most influential scientific texts of all time and continues to shape our understanding of the intricate tapestry of life. Furthermore, Darwin's contributions extended beyond the realm of biology. His ideas permeated other scientific disciplines, such as geology, where they offered profound insights into the formation and history of our planet. His work opened up new avenues of exploration, sparking a cascade of discoveries and intellectual inquiry that reverberate to this day. Number 15. Leonardo da Vinci. Regarded as one of the most brilliant minds in human history, Leonardo da Vinci left an indelible mark on the field of art, science, and engineering. In the year 1519, as he laid on his deathbed, Da Vinci allegedly expressed a sense of regret and disappointment with his life's work, lamenting, "I have insulted God and humanity. My work never reached the quality it should have had." These words carry a profound weight, as they reveal the inner turmoil of a man who, despite his remarkable achievements, yearned for even greater artistic and scientific mastery. Da Vinci's artistic genius transcended boundaries, and his masterpieces continue to captivate and amaze us. The enigmatic smile of the Mona Lisa, his iconic portrait, has fascinated viewers for centuries. In addition to his renowned paintings, Da Vinci's meticulous studies of anatomy revolutionized the field of medicine. providing intricate insight into the human body. His numerous notebooks filled with drawings, observations, and scientific theories serve as a testament to his insatiable curiosity and unrelenting pursuit of knowledge. Beyond his artistic prowess, Da Vinci's engineering concepts were centuries ahead of his time. He envisioned flying machines, bridges, and even submarines, showcasing his unrivaled imagination and foresight. His innovative designs have influenced countless inventors and engineers, shaping the foundations of modern technology. Despite his own self-criticism, Da Vinci's works have had an immeasurable impact on the world. His unique ability to merge art and science, coupled with his ceaseless exploration and experimentation, continue to inspire generations. Artists draw inspiration from his techniques and composition, scientists marvel at his scientific discoveries, and dreamers are inspired by his imaginative vision. Number 14. John Barrymore. Known famously as the Great Profile, John Barrymore is often remembered both for his film and stage roles as a romantic leading man and for his interpretations of William Shakespeare's Richard III and Hamlet. However, in the early 1940s, the American actor was locked in a slow, alcoholic decline, which profoundly affected his abilities and opportunities in the world of entertainment. Barrymore's memory was failing, making it increasingly challenging for him to engage in meaningful stage work. As his career disintegrated, he found himself relegated to small roles in minor films, relying on cue cards to remember his lines. Radio became his primary source of income during this period. His participation in 74 episodes of the Rudy Valley Seal Test Show exemplified his reliance on this medium. Unfortunately, during the production of the final episode, Barrymore collapsed, and that necessitated his immediate transfer to Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital. There, he was on the brink of death for 11 days. On his final day, a question was posed to him about his impending demise. In response, Barrymore firmly declared,
Then, because I'll not do that.
No Barrymore would allow such a conventional thing to happen to him. In 1942, John Barrymore passed away, leaving behind a legacy that extended beyond his life. Number 13. Albert Einstein. Known as a renowned theoretical physicist and one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century, Albert Einstein had a profound impact on our understanding of the universe. In his last days in 1955, Einstein found himself in Princeton Hospital, facing the consequences of an abdominal aortic aneurysm. Knowing that his time was limited, he made the bold decision to reject surgery, stating, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly." During his final hours, it was reported that Einstein uttered a few words in his native language, which is German. Unfortunately, the nurse attending to him couldn't understand German. Consequently, his last known words slipped away like a beam of light escaping into a black hole, completely lost. There's indeed a poignancy in not knowing his exact last words. Einstein, the man who peeled back the curtain on the universe and unraveled secrets of the cosmos, left us with one small secret of his own. We could let our imaginations run wild thinking about what profound insight might have been lost with those last few words. Could it be answers to dark matter, or a unified field theory? Or perhaps it was a quiet reflection, an expression of love, or a benign comment about the weather. Nevertheless, this uncertainty does not diminish the considerable legacy he left behind. The enigma surrounding his final words doesn't overshadow the intellectual echoes of his life's work, which continue to reverberate throughout the realms of science and culture. Number 12. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos was a serial killer who murdered at least 7 people between 1989 and 1990. Eventually, she was convicted and sentenced to death, ultimately meeting her fate through lethal injection in 2002. In her final moments before execution, Wuornos uttered a perplexing and disjointed statement that revealed her troubled state of mind.
Giving you book and movie info. I'm giving you info.
And I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus June 6. Like the movie, Big Mothership and all, I'll be back. While these words are challenging to interpret, they provide a glimpse into her belief in an afterlife and a form of redemption, despite the horrific nature of her crimes. Throughout her life, Wuornos faced numerous difficulties and battles with mental health. She was also a victim of abuse and trauma, with a childhood marred by disruption. Her father's imprisonment for child molestation left her scarred, and she spent much of her time seeking solace at her grandparents' house. As she entered her teenage years, Wuornos turned to prostitution as a means of survival, and her life spiraled further into despair. She was no stranger to the law, having been charged with driving under the influence and firing a gun from a moving vehicle. Additionally, she faced arrests for crimes such as auto theft, armed robbery, and forgery. Prior to her death, she was so cruel that she assured the system that not giving her a harsh enough punishment would mean putting the world at risk. Number 11. Johann Wulfgang von Goethe. Known famously as a renowned German poet, novelist, playwright, courtier, and scientist, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe is one of the key figures in Western culture. In his final moments in 1832, Goethe's parting words have been widely quoted as "more light," symbolizing a metaphorical plea for enlightenment and understanding. Throughout his lifetime, Goethe held a profound fascination with the physical and metaphorical effects of light on humanity. Despite being most renowned for his literary accomplishments, he personally regarded his scientific treatise, The Theory of Colors, published in 1810, as his most notable work. Despite his lifelong disbelief, just a year before his demise, Goethe identified with the eclectic Hypsisterian sect, expressing in a letter to a friend that he felt a sudden joyous light emerging from a dark age, and also indicated his lifelong aspiration to align with the Hypsisterians. On the evening preceding his death, he engaged in discussions about optical phenomena with his daughter-in-law. While it may seem that his famed final cry of "more light" was a plea for increased enlightenment before his passing, some scholars propose that Goethe might have simply been asking his servant to open the shutters in the dimly lit room where he lay. Regardless of the true interpretation of his final words, Goethe's impact on literature, art, and philosophy remains unparalleled. His works, including the play Faust and the novel The Sorrows of Young Werther, explored themes of love, nature, and the human condition, and continue to be widely read and studied to this day. Number 10. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was the American inventor who developed many of the world's most useful and entertaining devices, from the first practical light bulb to the phonograph and motion picture camera. Known as the Wizard of Menlo Park, he passed away in New Jersey on October 18, 1931, at the age of 84, due to complications from diabetes. It is said that on his deathbed, Edison uttered his final words, "It's very beautiful over there. I don't know where there is, but I believe it's somewhere, and I hope it's beautiful." The meaning behind Edison's last words has been subject to interpretation. Some suggest that he was simply describing a beautiful view he observed from his window. Others perceive his statement as a glimpse into his thoughts and beliefs about the afterlife. Regardless of the exact interpretation, Edison's final words offer a poignant insight into his curiosity and openness to the mysteries of life and beyond. Throughout his lifetime, Edison's insatiable curiosity and unwavering determination resulted in countless inventions. His innovations revolutionized modern society and paved the way for technological advancements that have shaped the world we live in today. His legacy as one of the most influential inventors in history continues to inspire new generations of innovators to push the boundaries of what is possible. Number 9. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is perhaps one of the most infamous figures in history, known for his role as the dictator of Nazi Germany and his responsibility for the systematic genocide of millions of Jews and other minorities during the Holocaust. Hitler's reign of terror came to a close on April 30th, 1945, when he committed suicide in his bunker as the Red Army closed in on Berlin. His wife, Eva Braun, whom he had married the day before in their subterranean hideaway, followed suit, preferring death over capture or having to answer for the atrocities committed by her husband. Within 4 days, the Soviet army had discovered and recovered Hitler's body. However, the exact details of his death and burial remain a matter of controversy and speculation to this day. Despite his ultimate demise, Hitler's legacy as a symbol of hate, intolerance, and oppression continues to haunt the collective memory of humanity. His last known words, as expressed in his will, serve as a chilling reflection of his hateful ideologies. In his final written statement, Hitler blamed the Jews for the war and called for their complete destruction, labeling them as world poisoners of all peoples. These despicable words, coupled with his final actions alongside the person he considered his closest ally, represent a sobering reminder of the dangers of the depths of human cruelty and the devastating consequences of hate and prejudice. Number 8. Karl Marx. Known for his influential theories on capitalism, communism, and class struggle, Karl Marx was a famous German philosopher, economist, and revolutionary socialist during the 19th century. Marx's life and work were a testament to his belief in the power of ideas and the need for social and political action to bring about real change. He famously remarked that last words are for fools who haven't said enough, when asked by his housekeeper if he had anything he wanted to say before his death in 1883. This statement encapsulates Marx's belief that ideas alone are not enough, but that they must be followed by action to make a true impact. Throughout his life, Marx produced several writings, including the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital, that laid the foundation for socialist and communist movements across the globe. Despite being widely debated and often controversial, Marx's ideas have had a profound impact on modern political and economic matters. Number 7. Bob Marley. Bob Marley may have died more than 40 years ago, but his legacy of love lives on. The iconic Jamaican singer was at the peak of his career when he was diagnosed with a rare form of skin cancer in 1977. Despite the news about his health, he continued performing, touring the world, and releasing new music. It wasn't until several years later that his cancer diagnosis began to affect his daily life. With his family by his side, Marley died on May 11, 1981 in Miami, after seeking alternative treatments across the globe. Prior to his death, he shared some poignant last words with his son Ziggy, stating that money can't buy life. This expression embodied Marley's philosophy on the importance of love and the fleeting nature of material possessions. News of Marley's death came as a shock to fans around the world who had last heard that he was going to be all right. In the days following his passing, he was honored with a state funeral in Jamaica on May 20th, 1981. Despite his untimely death, Marley's legacy continues to shine brightly in popular culture. In 1994, he was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and in 2001, he was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That same year, he was recognized with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Recording Academy. Additionally, Rolling Stone magazine named him one of the 100 greatest artists of all time in 2010. Number 6. Elvis Presley. You might know him as the undisputed king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley left an indelible mark on popular music and culture. In August 16, 1977, his sudden and tragic death at his Graceland mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, sent shockwaves through the world, leaving fans grieving and in disbelief. Little did anyone know that his final words, spoken casually to his fiancée Ginger Alden, would hold such poignant significance. With a nonchalant tone, he uttered, "I am going to the bathroom to read." Unknown to him or anyone else, these ordinary words would mark the end of an era. Throughout his illustrious career, Elvis Presley left an indelible mark on popular culture that was nothing short of extraordinary. His music, a fusion of blues, gospel, and country, resonated with millions, transcending racial barriers and forming the soundtrack of a generation. His performances were nothing short of electrifying. His powerful vocals, accompanied by his signature hip gyrations, captivated audiences and set a new standard for live entertainment. The impact he had on stage was so profound that many were inspired to pursue a career in music with an attempt to imitate his unique style. Meanwhile, Presley's influence extended beyond music, as he also achieved success as an actor and became a fashion icon known for his flashy stage costumes and distinctive style. Now it's time for our subscribers pick. Today we're talking about Michael Jackson and Charlie Chaplin. We all know Michael Jackson as the king of pop because he left his mark on the music industry and popular culture. In 2009, during his final moments, Jackson's last words were a request for milk, pleading for more to make him sleep. Sadly, his death was later found to be caused by the misuse of medication called propofol, given to him by his doctor. On the other hand, Charlie Chaplin was a legendary silent film actor and filmmaker, renowned for his comedic brilliance and ability to bring laughter to audiences worldwide. While on his deathbed in 1977, Chaplin had a visit from a priest who uttered, "May the Lord have mercy on your soul." In classic Chaplin fashion, his response was quick-witted and irreverent, saying, "Why not? After all, it belongs to him." This final exchange showcased his trademark wit and his unique ability to find humor even in the face of seriousness. So guys, what do you make of the last words of these two extraordinary individuals? Share your thoughts in the comments as we continue this journey. Number 5. Bessie Smith. Lauded as the Empress of the Blues, Smith was one of the most celebrated and beloved singers of the 1920s and 30s. Unfortunately, in 1937, she was involved in a car accident in Mississippi that resulted in critical injuries and ultimately led to her passing. Her last words, spoken to a compassionate bystander who had rushed to her aid, were incredibly poignant. "I'm going, but I'm going in the name of the Lord." These words reflect Smith's deep faith and her belief in the power of music to connect with the divine. Throughout her illustrious career, Smith's music served as a profound voice for the experiences of African Americans, particularly women, during the early 20th century. Her songs delved into themes of love, heartbreak, and social injustice, resonating deeply with listeners and serving as a powerful expression of the human condition. Not only did Bessie Smith set the stage for future generations of blues, jazz, and rhythm and blues artists, but her influence can still be felt in the work of countless musicians, including the likes of Billie Holiday, Mahalia Jackson, Janis Joplin, and Aretha Franklin. Number 4. Leonard Nimoy. Best known for portraying the role of Spock in the Star Trek universe, Leonard Nimoy started his Hollywood career with mostly supporting roles and television shows. While initially taking on supporting roles and appearing in various television shows such as Untouchables and Perry Mason, it was his captivating performance as Spock in 1966 that elevated him into the spotlight. As one of the most beloved characters in the entertainment industry, Nimoy regarded Spock as his finest work. His dedication to the Star Trek franchise was unwavering, as he continued to portray the enigmatic alien character until 2013. Nimoy also left a lasting mark in the Mission Impossible series. Unfortunately, his health started to decline due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, resulting in significant complications. Following his diagnosis with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in 2014, Nimoy faced a challenging journey towards the end of his life. Struggling with emphysema, bronchitis, and breathing difficulties, he slipped into a coma on February 25, 2015, evoking profound sorrow globally upon his passing on February 27, 2015, at the age of 83. In his final days, Nimoy grappled with distress and yearned for a peaceful end, enduring considerable pain before his passing. However, despite his struggles, he imparted his wisdom to the world one last time through a poignant tweet, leaving behind a powerful message. "A life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had but not preserved except in memory." LAP, a nod to his iconic phrase, "Live long and prosper." Number 3. James Brown. If you're familiar with secular gospel music, you'll definitely know about James Brown. He was regarded as the godfather of soul who flourished in the 20th century from his moving live performances. Rising to fame in the 1950s as the lead singer of the famous Flames, Brown swiftly embarked on a solo career that would shape the course of music history. On stage, Brown's theatricality knew no bounds. His performances were a spectacle of raw energy, featuring iconic moves such as falling to his knees, executing gravity-defying splits, and deftly manipulating the microphone, captivating audiences with an intensity that would later inspire the young Michael Jackson. Spanning 5 decades, Brown's career yielded numerous chart-topping hits, leaving an undeniable imprint on the musical landscape. In recognition of his immense contributions, he was among the first 10 inductees into the illustrious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Beyond his status as an icon, Brown assumed the role of a cultural leader, using his platform to write politically charged songs and raise awareness of Black pride. Despite his long and illustrious reign in the music industry, James Brown's life came to an end at the age of 73 on the early morning of Christmas Day in 2006. His passing was attributed to fluid in his lungs and a heart attack. According to his wife, Tommy Ray, she revealed that the star struggled with his condition for days before he passed. Meanwhile, his longtime manager, Charles Bobbitt, was by his side and would later report his final utterance was, "I'm going away tonight," before taking his last labored breaths. Number 2. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford was a legendary actress who starred in flicks such as Goodbye My Fancy and This Woman is Dangerous. Her legacy remains huge within Hollywood, with Crawford nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including her 1945 win for Mildred Pierce. She became well known for her no-nonsense approach to the film industry, and it would seem even in the moments before her death, she continued to exhibit her trademark candor. On May 10th, 1977, Joan Crawford succumbed to a fatal heart attack in her New York apartment, marking the end of an era in Hollywood. At the time of her passing, Crawford was 69 years old, leaving behind a storied legacy that would endure for generations. Just 4 days before her untimely death, the actress made the decision to part with her cherished pet dog, Princess Lotus Blossom, citing concerns about her declining health. As her condition worsened, Crawford was attended to by attentive nurses who stood firmly by her bedside. In her final moments, as the nurses offered prayers for her well-being, Crawford vehemently snapped, "Don't you dare ask God to help me." Moments later, the esteemed Academy Award winner drew her last breath, leaving behind a void in the entertainment industry and in the hearts of her fans worldwide. Following Crawford's passing, a funeral was held in her honor in New York 3 days later, where her loved ones bid her a fond farewell. The reading of her will unearthed surprising revelations, as Crawford allocated approximately $77,500 from her $2 million estate to her 2 youngest children, Cindy and Kathy. In a rather controversial move, her 2 eldest children, Christina and Christopher, were notably excluded from her will, sparking intrigue and speculation within the Hollywood community. Number 1. Winston Churchill. Voted as the greatest Briton in a BBC poll in 2002, Sir Winston Churchill is remembered for leading his country with the Allies to victory as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the Second World War. However, the latter years of his life were marked by hidden struggles and a meticulously planned, confidential operation for his eventual passing. On June 23, 1953, during his second term as Prime Minister, Churchill suffered a severe stroke at a dinner party in Downing Street, leaving him partially paralyzed. Despite the gravity of the situation, his family chose to keep the incident under wraps, with only a select few, including the newly crowned Queen Elizabeth II, being privy to the news. The Queen, mindful of Churchill's historical significance, directed the Duke of Norfolk to prepare for a state funeral of unprecedented magnitude in the event of the esteemed leader's passing. Meanwhile, a meticulous and confidential plan called Operation Hope Not was established, laying the groundwork for a funeral befitting Churchill's towering stature in history. Remarkably, Churchill defied the odds, surviving the next 12 years, during which meticulous adjustments were regularly made to the plan. In 1958, he narrowly escaped death from a sudden attack of pneumonia, only to face a continued battle with his declining health. Tragically, Sir Winston Churchill passed away on the morning of Sunday, January 24, 1965, at his London residence. Since 1949, he had suffered 8 strokes. The last was on January 15, 1965, from which he never recovered. After the stroke, he was mostly in a coma. His last words were to his son-in-law, Christopher Soames. In his words, he stated that, "I'm so bored with it all." At that moment, he was probably talking about how he was tired of the small arguments and details of everyday life or politics. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.